Is manifesting someone taking away their free will? No. No, it's just you in your own perceived world. You change your thoughts on something and your perception changes. When you change your perception on someone or something, you get a different version of that thing. There's an infinite amount of possible realities to live in. Depending on your perception, you change your perception and everything in your life changes. Your circumstances change, the people change based on your perception.
What?
Well, it just sounds to me like you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about there, sweetheart, because, well, let's just think about this for a second. We take a look at all of these so-called manifestation gurus that plague TikTok, and they all pretty much say the same thing. If you want that, man, you just gotta manifest it, and he won't be able to stop thinking about you, and he's gonna want to call you and give you babies at the ripe old age of 37. Even if this guy ghosted you after a drunken late-night club hookup, he's not gonna be able to resist wanting to call you and marry you and all of this stuff. If that's not mind control, then what is? Now, if you're operating under the guise that everything is a simulation, then pretty much what you're saying is that you're the only person that exists and you have the power to alter reality itself because there isn't anybody else out there. But if that was the case, then why is it that we have so many miserable modern women who are constantly complaining that they can't lock down Chad? At that point, you'd just be better off admitting that you're not willing to do anything and then just complain when nothing happens. I mean, you're pretty much doing that anyway, so why break precedent?
You program your mind for a new belief of that person and you receive a different version of that person. You keep saying, oh, this person is so nice to me, this person is so nice to me, this person is so nice to me. You've changed your perception of that person and therefore you get the version of them that is nice to you because you've programmed your mind to see that. There's an infinite amount of versions of everything. It's like virtual reality. Follow for more.
That doesn't make sense.
Hey lady, I'm gonna make a kind financial suggestion. With the $7.82 that you're making monthly with your manifestation courses, you might want to invest in a dictionary and look up the definition for the word denial because that's what you're currently in. You're not talking about manifestation here. You're talking about tricking yourself into thinking that doucher you hooked up with in the club bathroom last month is somehow into you. Now, he may drunk text you at 2 a.m. when he wants to score some strange, and he could have a swear-laden text message that's filled with misspellings, and what you'll think is that he's being so cute and nice that he's thinking about you, instead of realizing that he just wants a quick hookup, and then leave his apartment and never bother him again. Now, on a personal note, I have yet to be convinced that we're not living in a simulation, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna start acting like I'm freaking Keanu Reeves from The Matrix. If I had the choice, I would totally be Johnny Utah from Point Break, and that's just for obvious reasons that really don't require any further explanation.
Good job!
I was supposed to go on a date tonight. I was so excited to come on here and say, guys, I'm finally going on a date. I was talking to this guy over Instagram DM. Gotta love Instagram DM. And when it came to like picking a place for us to go get drinks, he was being very weird. He couldn't go here. This is a weird spot. He doesn't like this place. And I'm like, he's never been weird before. Like, what's the problem? So I go on his Instagram and I dive deep. And I don't like doing research on people like crazy if they don't give me a reason to. Like, I want to get to know the person in person.
Liar! 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 Oh my god, lady, you actually expect us to believe that, do you? Oh wow, yeah, you don't stalk dudes on social media to dissect them before meeting them? Yeah, I'll believe that during the reign of Queen Dick. In the eyes of a modern woman, a man on social media is something that's to be dissected and studied because she has nothing really to talk about and she needs to look for those red flags early. And she was already looking for an excuse to get a head start because this is the first date in what I can only assume is 3 years, which is for reasons that are fairly obvious. But if we take a look at the basic laws of Chadnomics here, this is fairly standard because, well, she needs to make sure that the guy is hot, like really hot. She has high standards. I mean, we could smell it permeating through our view screens here. And this, of course, is also predicated on the assumption that this event actually happened and she's not just making up stories for TikTok drama. I mean, at this point, either one seems plausible considering that TikTok is just filled with modern women who love to lie if it means that they'll get the minimum amount of attention from strangers on the internet.
But I'm like, this is odd. So I go through his tagged photos. Of course, you can't hide from that unless you shut them off, idiot. And I see that he has, from a couple months ago, somebody tagged him in like this big group picture. And in the group picture, it's like him and a bunch of guys and this girl in his arms. I'm like, okay, could be an ex-girlfriend, could be his sister. So I click her page. I view her story. And today, she put a picture of her in his arms again. It was like very similar type. And she's like, my lover, something, 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 making it very obvious that they're dating. And so I dive deep into her highlights, and they're fully in a relationship. So he's trying to go on a date tonight when he is fully in a relationship. No wonder he's being weird about where we're going.
Well, what did the police say?
Okay, and you're surprised at this because, I mean, lady, this is a dude who slid into your DMs, and of course he's going to be attractive because you never would have given him the time of day if he wasn't. And as we all know, the types of men who slide into the DMs of modern women are either simps or guys who already have a girlfriend and are planning on cheating. Self-respecting men have walked away from Instagram and dating apps like 5 to 10 years ago, so you're standing there shocked that a man who has intentions of cheating on his girlfriend is interacting with you. How can you be shocked at this? This has been standard practice for a while now. The internet has given everyone the chance to communicate with each other at lightning speed, and a lot of those men just use it as a means to hook up with chicks online. And that is the table that you and your brood set, sweetheart. So the whole takeaway from all of this is that if you're actually going to try to meet a guy on Instagram, you really can't be all that shocked when you find out he's just using you for some strange and is not really interested in getting to know your personality just because there really isn't one there in the first place.
So I'm ready. I'm going out with my friends. But you want to know who's showing up at that date tonight? Because I didn't cancel. I did not cancel. Mirko. Mirko's going. But it's just like, send him a little message. Fuck with him because he wants to be messy. Like, let's be messy. And I'm gonna have Mirko go to meet him. And I want Mirko to say to him, go tell your girlfriend what you're up to before Caitlin does. And just walk away. So we'll see how it goes. A little bit nervous, a little anxious. But, two can play that game. Okay.
Congratulations!
Two can play at what game exactly? This dude is cheating on his girlfriend. He's not cheating on you, and you are just meddling in affairs that really don't concern you. Now, I do get feeling a little bit insulted that a guy is cheating on his girlfriend with you, but this isn't really gonna solve any problems at all. You're just trying to make yourself feel like a boss bae yas queen because you literally have nothing better to do with your life. Now, for the record, I don't condone cheating at all. Whether you're a man or a woman, cheating is just wrong. If you swear loyalty to somebody, you should stay loyal, and if you don't want to be loyal, you should break up with that person before moving on with endeavors that involve you being in less than pants. It's only fair. But I don't condone what you're doing either there, woman, because you're not doing it to help this guy's girlfriend or anything like that. You're just doing it because your butt hurt because the first time you actually have been able to get a date in 3 years turns out that it was just gonna end in a messy hookup anyways, and so you're doing this to make yourself feel better at the expense of people you don't even know. Mind your own business, woman. Shame on you. And no episode would be complete without shining the light of recognition on the fine members of the Bounty Board over on Patreon for their continued support of my work. Gentlemen and gents, I know I thank you every single episode, but I would thank you 5 times in every single episode because that is what you deserve for your support. Thank you so much. All hail! And if you're interested in supporting my work, check out the Bounty Board over on Patreon, where for $5 a month, you can get access to exclusive content you're not going to find anywhere else on YouTube. I post up there twice a week, and it's a great way to support the channel at a low price. I hope I've earned your support today. The link is in the pinned comment down below.
If a man doesn't invest into you, if a man doesn't pay for dinner dates or your bills or your rent or your nails or your hair, and he doesn't even spend a single dime on you, this man does not love you. This man is saving money for his dream girl to come along while he's piggybacking off you, your resources, your time, your existence, and your money. I'm gonna tell you why I know that he doesn't love you if he doesn't spend money on you while I'm unboxing my new lipstick. If a man truly is in love with you, he will want to invest into you. He wants to provide and protect you. He wants to nurture you and your feminine energy.
I don't think any of that's true.
There are so many levels of wrong with that statement, I don't even really know where to begin. I guess we should start with the obvious. I've been doing this for a while now, and I have yet to see a video of a modern woman talking about how she is buying a man dinner and gifts and all of these things while receiving nothing in return. It doesn't work that way in the eyes of a modern woman. What she has is hers. What that man has is also hers. And that man is under every obligation to spend every single dime on her because that's what a man is supposed to do. Now, on top of that, we also got to take a look into this idea of what you call a quote-unquote investment. When a man invests money into something, he is expecting to receive a return plus interest in some sort. But when a modern woman is judging a man based on how much money he's willing to spend on her, that's not really an investment. That's just indentured servitude. That man would be better off investing his money in the up-and-coming fake dog crap technology movement, which I'm imagining is going to be happening eventually. But to be fair, I am not a financial advisor. You should not take anything I say as financial advice, and I feel it's kind of sad that I have to say that.
How does he do it? By spending money on you, by looking after you emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually. He wants to make you a better person. That's the sole purpose of what men are here to do on this planet, to protect and nurture women. Because what do? We carry the portal to life. We become mothers, we look after the children. While we're looking after the children, the man needs to protect us. Now, we don't live in Stone Age times anymore. So our priorities and the resources a man needs to provide have changed. We're not necessarily looking for the fittest guy anymore that can box away a saber-toothed tiger.
Liar, liar, liar.
But we're looking for a man that is financially secure and financially ambitious to offer us the most important resource on this planet, which is money.
We do have this money.
All right, fine. Let's go ahead and break this down for a second there, sweet cheeks. You're saying that a man's only purpose on this earth is to provide you with money, which is patently false. Men also build society, maintain society, and lead us during times of war because you are terrible on all of those things. You're also talking about how it's your job to provide life because women can have babies, even though you need a man in order for that to happen. But you constantly are leaving that convenient part out because if you actually mentioned that, that would completely nullify your entire ludicrous argument. Now, if you want a man to spend ungodly amounts of money on you, that's all well and good, but you actually have to give him a reason to do it, and your barren uterus is not a good enough reason. You're leaving out the part where you're actually going to have to provide something for that man, so he has a reason to provide for you. This is a mutual relationship. It's not something where you can just take and take and take and take and expect to provide nothing in return. That's not how relationships work, but I guess I can't really blame you for knowing that because you've obviously never been in one of those before.
Just as much as we have the maternal instinct to love unconditionally, to nurture our family and our children, a man has the instinct, the masculine instinct to provide for a woman. If he doesn't have this instinct with you, he simply doesn't love you. This is my new lip gloss. I got my name engraved. Every single person asked me about the color because it went viral on TikTok. And this is number 11 in satin. Give me some money. Give me some money.
Well, lady, you're forgetting the part that if a man is going to let you into his life, then he needs to have a reason to. It is the men who control the relationships, and if you're just thinking about what he can provide you, then you're looking at this the wrong way, and at your age, you really shouldn't be doing that. At this point, you really should start learning how to make some casseroles, because that is the only chance that any man would want anything to do with you. But then again, I don't blame men if they wouldn't want that either, because I don't think they want you turning his kitchen into a massive fire hazard. And it's kind of sad that we've gotten to the point in humanity where a man's value is based purely on his money, not his character, not how he treats his woman, just how much money he's willing to spend on her. Well, lady, I'm taking a look at my wallet right now and I got, hey, wow, I actually have 50 bucks in here. When the hell did that happen? Well, I guess I should figure out what I'm going to do with this new windfall. I could buy some Nerf guns, or I could go ahead and buy some leather-bound books at the library, but the one thing I'm not going to do is waste it on a cretin such as yourself. You don't deserve it, sweetheart.
Yak. Get a job.
I saw a video today where a woman said that having a baby made her feel like feminism lied to her. But the thing is, feminism didn't lie to her. She was definitely lied to. Many women feel like we were lied to, we were duped, we were tricked. We fell into this awful trap, and how did we not see it coming? And the reason we feel this way is because we were sold a dream. We were sold the idea that we could do and have it all. We could have the careers we dreamed of. We could have the marriages we wanted. We could have children, and we could do all of it, and we could thrive. But that's just simply not the case. And the reason it's not the case is because there's very little, if no, supports for women, specifically mothers.
Oh, poor you.
Oh, Gladys, you special educated little duckling. Of course feminism lied to you. Feminism lied to everybody. It was a bill of goods that you purchased without question. There are many pillars to the concept of feminism, one of which is blatant misandry, which you have in spades, but also the idea that you didn't need a man in order to have everything that you ever could have possibly wanted. And when it turned out that you did need a man, you got so furious that you decided to lash out at everybody. I mean, let's just be real for a second, Gladys. What has feminism done for you? How has it made your life better? Let's just think about this for a second. You complain on the internet constantly, you're always bashing your husband for never being good enough, and you're always angry at the people on the internet. What good has feminism ever done for you? You keep holding on to this idea as if it's this guiding light in this miserable life of yours when it's really just an anchor that's sinking you down. But there I go using common sense. I know that's not your strong suit there, Gladys. I apologize.
And here's the thing. Many women will tell you that they were thriving. They were thriving. Their career was amazing. Their marriage was amazing. And then they had children. And when they had children, their marriage changed. Their views on their career changed. They felt like they were drowning. Their life changed. Because as a society, we don't support women, but we definitely don't support mothers. We don't have adequate paid leave. We barely have paid leave at all. We don't have affordable childcare. Our school hours don't align with the workforce. Our partners still expect their wives to take care of them, to do the domestic labor, the childcare, carry the mental load, and their lives go mostly unchanged. We were sold a lie. And in particular, when you're partnered with a man, they weren't told that we were trying to have it all. And then that would mean we wouldn't be doing it all for them. And so, yeah, you were lied to, but it wasn't feminism. It was everything else. It was society telling women they could do everything without giving them any support or equipping them to achieve equity in the workforce.
Am I so out of touch? No. It's the children who are wrong.
Okay, full disclosure, I don't have kids, okay? But I am under the assumption that once you do start a family, your entire life changes and your priorities shift because it's no longer about you, it is about your children. And the things that you do are to support those children, to make sure that they grow up healthy and strong, to move forth in society, to keep the genetic code going, and just living out their lives. But apparently, your life, your dreams, and your desires that you had back in freaking college are somehow sullied because you decided to have children. I mean, that's kind of messed up there, Gladys. And Gladys, I gotta tell you, the idea that you think that you're oppressed because you're a mother is just pure poppycock. You live in the West. You have laws that are literally catered to you. You have government subsidies that are literally catered to you. There are plenty of shelters and support programs for mothers, and it comes at the expense of men. Don't believe me? Well, then just ask any father who lost his children in divorce court. So don't tell me that you are oppressed when you're living in a massive house and you don't have any real world problems. It's just not gonna work out for you, Gladys.
Or equity at home. Men continue to do less when it comes to chores. When men get married, they live better lives. They live longer, they're healthier, they're happier. When women get married, they do worse because they take on more work. They do more cooking, they do more cleaning. Even without kids, they do more when they get married. And then when the kids come, they do exponentially more. And we also know that most women are living in a dual income home. And so if you're living in a dual income home, chances are you're working full time. You're also doing the bulk of the domestic labor and the bulk of the childcare. And you're doing that within a system that gives you very little in way of supports. And so, yeah, you were lied to.
You don't know what words mean, do you?
And here we have another core tenet of feminism. When things don't go your way, just blame society after blaming men. I mean, I find this idea that men's lives don't change the second they become fathers is incredibly absurd and profoundly mean. Dedicated fathers work their asses off to provide for their children, and you never recognize it. All you recognize are the things that you have to do and blaming him for not doing it for you because because you didn't get the life you thought you deserved, Gladys. I get it. Feminism has poisoned your mind and has left you incredibly insufferable and entitled, so it doesn't matter what a man does for you, it's never good enough because he needs to be doing more because you have to think every once in a while. And it's that kind of spoiled attitude that children possess, and that's what you are, Gladys. You're not a dedicated mother. You're not even a dedicated wife. You're a spoiled little brat whose butt hurt because she didn't get the Disney princess ending she thought she was going to get.
We were all lied to, or it feels like we were all lied to. I felt like I was lied to. I felt like I fell into this enormous trap. I had an equal partnership. I had a marriage that I thought was really strong. We'd been together, I think, 12 or 13 years before we had kids. It was good. And then we had kids. And I realized how all these systemic issues and this societal conditioning set us up to fail. It set us up to fall into a trap where I became the default parent, I became the default for everything in the home, and his life was mostly unchanged. Mostly. And that's the trap. That is the trap, and we fall into it.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Okay, Gladys, you want to talk about support? Let's go ahead and talk about support. What do you need? What kind of support do you think that you need in order to get you to shut up? Because all you do is complain. You complain about how you have to do too much, and even though you break your husband's balls to do more, you're still never satisfied. So what will it take? What will it take to get you to shut up and recognize how good you have it? Women have been having children with minimal support for thousands of years, and these are women who had to cook meals from scratch. They had to wash their clothes outside by hand, and they did not bitch or moan nearly as much as you do. You have been afforded every single convenience that technology has to offer, and yet here you sit still blaming men for your dissatisfaction in life. Dedicated fathers all over the world leave their children every day to go work 8, 10, sometimes even 12 hours a day to ensure their quality of life, and they don't complain one bit. So what is it going to take for you to finally shut your mouth? And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. And as always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button. Ring the notification bell, leave a couple of comments, and make sure to share this video so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, gentlemen and gents, and until next time, peace out, homies.